on fire. I'm not a victim. A girl on fire. I'll stand my ground. Girl on fire. I've made a choice. I stand proud. I'm a girl on fire. I'm a mother, a daughter, a sister, a friend. I'm every woman. I have taken up arms and I choose to defend all that I hold dear. Independent and strong, you will not keep me down. You can't break me.
Lynette Oxley here for Tack Shack Tactical TV and Go So Girls on Fire 16 Days for Action for No Violence Against Women and Children. I'm here with a really pretty lady, Refilwe Fifi Sedumedi. Did I say that correct?
No, you did it. You did it.
Welcome,
you nailed it.
And thank you very much for talking to us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor and privilege. I'm blessed and humbled to be talking to you guys. My name is Refilwe Fifi Sedumedi. I'm 46 years old. I'm a mother of 2. My son is 23. My daughter is 17. And I'm also a grandmother to my 2 years old grandson. And wow, that is such a blessing for me, you know, because at some point I never thought I'll see my grandchildren. So Letabo is one of those blessings that I always, Letabo means happiness. So for me, it's such an absolute pleasure to be seeing this young human being, you know. But I'm wearing a lot of hats. I'm a breast cancer warrior for 11 years now.
Please tell us a little bit about your journey with that, because
what a journey. I was actually diagnosed in 2013, and I had a lump for 2 to 3 years, and I was like, what if they say this lump is cancerous? Because I lost my mom in 2004. She was diagnosed with brain cancer. Unfortunately, she lost the battle. So I think for me, it was most importantly the fear of the unknown, that I saw my mom struggling. So what if they say this lump is cancerous? But I don't condone that to the viewers at home. We always emphasize that early detection will save your life. So the earlier you see something, you rush to get professional help. So that lump, it was a size of a grape. It was not painful. It was just a lump. And I remember in 2013, at some point, I had a flu, and I went to my general practitioner. But something just told me to tell her that I've got something. And she was like, no, Refilwe, just lift up your arms. And I'm like, what does lifting up my arms? I said, I've got a lump in my breast. Little did I know that, you know, there are things called lymph nodes. So she was actually checking underneath my armpits. And she was not happy about that. She drew a sketch and she said, you must rush to the breast clinic in Helen Joseph. That's where my journey started. That's where I met Professor Carol and Ben. And yeah, that's how I found out that I'm on stage 2 of breast cancer. And it was quite a journey because we had to do check how far the cancer is, have it spread, and have it affected the other breast organs. And lucky enough, or fortunate enough, it was still just in the breast. And we had to do biopsies to see how things are. Are they bad, or am I still the lucky one? And when the results came back, they confirmed that I had to remove the lymph nodes. I had to do the first surgery to remove the lymph nodes, and then we had to remove the lump. But some of the lumps are not cancerous, but mine was cancerous, and we had to remove the lump, and we had to do reconstruction of both my breasts. So I had to go through the chemo for 6 to 7 months, which was hell. I lost my hair. I used to vomit like 3 to 4 days. And I used to, my red cells and my white cells used to drop, and they'll give me injections to inject myself in my tummy to boost the immune system. The veins I used to like, every time when I go for my chemo, they'll draw blood. But then my veins, they couldn't find any veins, and it was just a struggle. But fast forward, after every 3 weeks it will be a struggle, and I lost my hair everywhere. I lost my hair, my complexion changed, my nails were black, my hands were black. I lost so much weight. But you know, for me, I embraced my journey, because every time when I look at my scars, I don't allow them to define me. You know, I look at them and I say, thank you, Lord, for saving my life, because I don't know what was going to happen if I didn't take that attempt of seeking a professional help. And the chemo, then after that I had to go for radiation for 7 weeks, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, every day, Monday to Friday. But radiation was not as bad as chemo. Chemo is the worst nightmare.
But you said you always dressed up for your appointments. No,
you know what, there's one thing that I think that there was only one time when I was going through my 3rd chemo. I was so sick, and when I got there, when they drew blood, the results came back that I cannot get chemo. You know, you just want to finish this thing. And I was like, that day I went to see my oncologist I was wearing slippers. I couldn't rock up in my beautiful self because I was so sick. And the results came back that I cannot get chemo because I was not, my white cells and my red cells had dropped dismally so. And I got so furious. But my oncologist, she used to give me this, she used to call me my snow princess, because every time when I come in, I dress up and people would think I'm the doctor. Only when I tell them, guys, I'm one of you. Because one thing that I always say is, we need to, every morning when we wake up, we need to embrace that moment, because someone else is fighting for their last breath. So for us to wake up, it's a privilege, and it's God is saying to you, you've got so much to live for, and you need to find your purpose. So my purpose was, I'm here. I don't know why God is keeping me, but in a process, I will find out. So I used to look so pretty, and you know, looking forward to this thing called chemotherapy. As much as I was getting sick, while I was sitting getting my chemo, I would vomit. But I said to myself, I'm not going to allow this. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I have to fight this battle for my kids. You know, that's why I used to dress up and look good and smell good. And it was giving me this thing to look forward to, you know, every morning, even though it was tough. It was tough.
Tell me a little bit about the Sedumedi Hope Foundation.
Okay, Sedumedi Hope Foundation, it's one of my babies. After losing my mom, I saw the gap, especially in our black communities, informal settlements, that our people doesn't really know much about cancer. Not only breast cancer, but cancer in general. I'll also include myself, because if it was not for my mom, I don't think I was gonna know, because we grow up knowing that cancer is a white man's disease. And you see where the gap is. Our people, they take it very light. They thinking, nah, there's no way that I'll have cancer. We grew up, our forefathers, they used to tell us, no, it's only white people that will be diagnosed with cancer. No, hell no. There's a lot that we don't know. So I saw the gap, and I said to myself, after being diagnosed, I said to myself, now this is the reason why I have to give hope to that name, hope. It's more of giving hope to the hopeless, people who are going through this journey. And we are saying to them, we are here for you. If you don't know who you can run to, we'll hold your hand and we'll make sure that you reach on the other side. So we're focusing on cancer in general. We're raising more awareness. We are the powerful voice to the voiceless. And we also have different campaigns or programs that we look into. The Teenage Girls Sanitary Pets Drive. We also have the teenage boys, where we take them to the barber shop, and we have a partnership with the other hair salons or barber shops. Then we just take them for haircuts, just to make them feel better. And we also have the grannies, whereby we look after the grannies. When it's winter, we get them warm blankets, especially on my birthday. In the loving memory of my mom, that's how these grannies came off. In the loving memory of my mom, I'll go and spend time with the grannies. I'll throw a party for them. Instead of throwing a party for myself, I'll do a very special party for them. And even December, we just every year we just look into that, and we get sponsors to sponsor them with heaters or blankets. And we visit the hospital, especially Charlotte Makleke, the cancer, the ward for kids with cancer. And I guess we'll get into that. How did it come about? So every year, when it's Easter, Christmas, winter, we go and spend time with them. Especially for Easter, we collect Easter eggs, and then we go and spend time with them. We pray for them. We spend time with their parents, because they're also going through the most. And December, what we do, we have someone who dresses up as Father Christmas. We cook lunch for them. We give them gifts. We go and paint their faces, and we spend time with them. And we also go to schools, and we raise awareness about cancer. We also go to correctional services like Sun City, Louis Corp, and we also do it's just churches, wherever we get invited, corporate or private sectors or the government. They also invite us. We go and do awareness, which is more. That's how we reach our people. And yeah, and Mandela Day, we also do Mandela Day. It's a lot of campaigns that we look into.
That sounds great. So you can talk about Princess Thandeka Sibanda. I just read a little bit about her story.
Yes, the late princess, she was actually diagnosed at a very early age, because she passed on when she was, I think, 5. She just turned 5, if I remember correctly. When we went to Mount Everest, then her aunt,
please tell us about that as well.
Mount Everest. Oh, that was the most scariest thing I've ever done. And
you climbed Mount Everest.
We did.
That's fantastic.
Guys, that was just, I don't know what I was thinking. I even said to God when I was there, I said, I didn't sign up for this, because that was hell. Guys, that was hell. But I'm glad I did it, because we were doing it. We were saying it was for Breast Health Foundation, and we were in 702 and multi-choice. What we were doing, we were raising funds, and we were saying to someone, yes, you can climb mountains, but there is life after every challenge. There's light at the end of the tunnel. It's not the end of the world that you're facing any challenge. I don't care what it is that you're facing, but how you deal with it, how you face it, and how you dust yourself and pick up the pieces, you can win. Especially with it, when you set your mind at it, you pray about it, and you talk about it, you accept it, you will definitely make it. And for me, Mount Everest I was scared of heights, for one. And I was like, Refilwe, what are you doing? The training when we were here, it was tough. At some point, I nearly gave up and said, I'm not coming. It was 5 of us, breast cancer survivors. It was tough. The other 3, they couldn't make it, because they couldn't make it to our final destination, because they got sick.
Altitude sickness.
Yes, altitude, and they had to be airlifted to hospitals. But me and Henrietta, we managed to get to the base camp, which was like, there was something else. And then they said to us, it doesn't mean when you made it to a base camp, it means your journey ends here. You still have to go back to claim that you managed to be one of the Mount Everest base camp climbers. I was like, hell no. Hell no. I said, guys, but through God who strengthened me, I managed to come back. Yes, there were days when I was sick. The first day it was raining like hell, and the journey continued. We don't stop. And the following day I got so sick, like flu. I was coughing like nobody's business. I was like, guys, am I really gonna make it? And the food also, for me, I'm a very fussy person. The food was like, I remember at last he said, Refilwe, if you're not going to eat, you're not gonna cut it. This one, you need to have strength. I literally broke down. I said to him, I cannot eat this food. It's not nice at all. He was like, no, you're gonna have to eat. And he said to me, you know what? I understand this journey is difficult, but remember when you left home, you made a promise to your kids that you're not gonna give up. I always say giving up is not an option.
Absolutely.
We woke up swollen at some point I couldn't recognize my face. You wake up swollen and I'm like, guys, this is not me. But I thank God that I did it, because it made me the toughest.
Stronger.
Each and every challenge that I face now, I always say I pull through the worst. So this is nothing.
So let's talk about your last challenge that we've talked about, is your attempted hijacking where you got shot. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
2019, as I was saying, I used to work for Diepsloot FM, which was a community radio station. I just finished my show, because my show was from 6 to 8 in every Saturday in the afternoon. And I just decided I'm gonna go somewhere. And while I was driving on my way, and the worst part is when I was on the N14, I saw this. There was an accident. This lady, she was on the other side. She was driving towards Midrand or Pretoria, and then her car rolled and it went on our side, on the opposite side. And I was like, I never stop when I see accidents, but for that one, I don't know. I drove I had to stop maybe 500 meters away, and I had to go back, and that lady was trapped in the car. And I was like, she said, guys, I'm thirsty, please move me. And we said, no, we cannot move you, because they already called the ambulance. And I prayed for her. I had to wait until the ambulance came, and I had to make sure, and I even asked for her numbers so that I check up on her. Little did I know that my horror movie was still waiting for me. Then I drove, and when I was passing Honeydew, by the traffic lights, I was in between the other cars, but for some strange reasons, I don't know, this guy was just standing by my window, my door, and for some strange reasons I opened the door. Why I opened the door, I still don't know. And he was so close to the door, and I closed it quickly, and I pressed the central locking. Only when he got so angry, only when he knocked on my window with the gun, then I realized that, something is gonna happen. And I just prayed. I didn't pray. I just said to my God, God, I'm gonna get out of this situation alive. How? I don't know. But I know that you will save me. And when I looked around, I saw other guys. And I was like, this is not looking good. And I said to myself, Refilwe, you need to think. And I wanted to make a U-turn, because I don't know if this car in front of me or this car behind me is this guy,
Yeah.
And what was going through my mind was, what if these guys are gonna kidnap me or kill me and ditch me somewhere where they won't even find me? Then I said to myself, this guy who's by my door, I'm gonna knock him down. I think that's what pissed him off, and then I just heard the bang of a gun. But you know the stupid thing about the gunshot? I couldn't feel a pain. It was just this, I don't know how to explain the feeling, but I could see the blood. Like the blood was just sticking out, and I'm like, and then I tried to pull my arm couldn't move. For some reasons I thought he shot me on my arm. And then I'm like, how am I going to drive this car, because it's not automatic, it's manual. Then I had to try and control and change the gears, and I'm like, but all I know is I'm gonna live here. But I don't think that guy thought I was gonna make it. And I managed to drive, but my car nearly overturned twice, because by the time it was like I was driving like a maniac, because I was screaming, and I was screaming for my life. And I said, if I can just get out of this situation, I was thinking I'm going to rush to my sister, because my sister stays not far from Honeydew. And then I saw this car in front of me, and I'm trying to flick my lights so that they can stop. But I think they were also worried that it's a black car, and why are they driving like this? So they didn't even stop. Then I said to myself, I'm going to drive in front of this car, so that if these guys are following me, they don't see me, you know, because I was so scared. And then I was starting to feel the pain on my chest. And by the time when we were about to get to Cosmos City, then there are stop signs. Then I stopped. They stopped, and I tried to open my window, but then I had to lean and using my leg, because I cannot. And I forgot that they shot on that window. Then that window just went like, and then it was. And I tried to open the door. I'm telling them, guys, I need help. I need help. They shot. Then they were like, but we were surprised, and we were shocked how you were driving. We're asking ourselves, what is wrong with this driver? Then they said, follow us, follow us. That's when we went to the fire station in Cosmos City. Then they went in. They called the guys inside, and they came rushing. They brought a stretcher, and by then my body was starting to tremble, because the body shock. Yes, but I was still in fear, thinking these guys are still following me. They said, no, you're okay, you're okay. And then I was starting to feel pains, and I was struggling to breathe. I said to them, guys, I'm struggling to breathe. I'm feeling cold. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. They said. Then that's when they took me inside, and then they called the ambulance, and that they said, if we cannot get to hospital as soon as possible, we're not gonna make it. Then they tried to check the exit bullet.
So it went into your neck?
It went into my neck. I've got the scar here.
Okay, I can see that.
And then they said we cannot find the exit. So which means the bullet is somewhere inside. And I said to them, but the good thing is I was awake. I was talking, and I was just telling them, call my sister, call this, call that. They were like, and they had to rush me to hospital. They called the hospital. They alert the doctors that they've got a patient. By the time we got to hospital, I was like, guys, I can't breathe. They had to rush me in. I was so lucky. The doctor said if I couldn't make it in 5 minutes, I was not gonna make it, because I was starting to get swollen inside. And that's how my journey started. And I had fractures at my back, and I had that bullet is lodged
still inside.
It's still lodged in my neck tissues. So they said they could not remove that bullet, because where it's lodged, it's very crucial or critical. If they remove it, it's either I'll lose my speech. I cannot live without my speech. I said to them, as long as I can walk, I'll be able to walk, I'll be able to talk. Then they said, if I feel, because sometimes it does move, so if it happens that it moves, then they will have to check it out.
Reassess the
Yeah, reassess
situation.
this. Yes. So I couldn't. My arm was not working at all, and it got stuck.
Nerve damage.
The nerve damages. Yes, and even these 3 fingers. So I had to wear. Where it got stuck, it was just an inch to had crushed my spinal cord, and I had to wear a neck brace for 3 months, which was discomfort. And I used to have this pink teddy bear. Now got me that. I remember, yes, I remember she called me when I was in hospital. She asked me, what can I bring you? I said, can you just bring me something different? I don't want anything to eat. She said, what? I said, a pink big teddy bear. She was like, are you for real? And then, you know, that teddy bear, it used to assist my arm, because my arm, every time when I needed something to support my arm, and then I'll carry that big teddy bear, and then then I had to go for physio for like 8 to 9 months. So that's.
But you're healed.
I'm here. I'm still struggling with my arm. When it's cold, when it's raining, it's a struggle. Sometimes I don't sleep, but I'm here. You know, through God's grace, I'm surviving. It's a struggle, yes. Winter is a serious struggle, so I have to have my water bottle, dress up warm and keep warm. But I'm here. That's all that matters.
If you have a message for the ladies out there, for the women of South Africa and of the world, what would your message be for them during the 16 days of action? Because you are a lady of action, you're a warrior. What would your message be for them?
One thing that I can say to everyone at home, whether being around or international, we go through challenges on a daily basis. We are facing different challenges, whether being divorced or being diagnosed with HIV. All I can say is it's not the end of the world. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is no way that you will testify without going through some storms and some tests. So God is with you. Whatever that you're going through, prayer conquers everything. We are here to give you hope. Giving up is not an option. Don't allow your scars to define who you are. You are not written on your forehead what you're facing, but accepting and talking about it and seeking help. We are here 24/7. Just a phone call away.
On that fantastic message, thank you so much for making time to speak to me, and we'll see each other on the range soon, hopefully.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm hoping and praying that this is going to make a difference to a lot of people, and anyone who is going through any challenge, just know that every morning it's a blessing. It's only by God's grace that we wake up in the morning and we are still here to find our purpose and meaningful in this thing called life.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
and trained, fear won't control me. With my sisters in arms, we will make ourselves heard. We'll stand together. I'm a girl on fire.